What's up, everyone? I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great Christmas and a fantastic start to your new year. Today we're going to be giving you loadouts for the top 5 ARs in Warzone 3 and the top 5 SMGs in Warzone 3. So if you want a little break from the LMG and battle rifle and marksman rifle meta, these are going to be some of the loadouts that you're going to want to run. And as always, we're going to give you some bonus loadouts and things like that for some of these weapons so that you have some options to choose from. These are going to be in no particular order, and as always, I always recommend you use what's most comfortable to you, because if you're not comfortable, you're not going to push your enemies and you're not going to get more kills. Let's get into it. For this first loadout set, we're going to use the DG56 and the AMR9. Now, this is strictly, we're talking ARs here, so the DG56 is still pretty solid, especially when it comes to the ARs and TTK, so we're going to give you a loadout for that. And the AMR9, I've been getting asked a lot about it. Every time I pick it up on ground loot, I seem to enjoy it quite a bit, so we'll give it to you here today. So for this DG56, you want to go with the Hipfire suppressor, the DG56 LS18 barrel, the 40 round mag, extended TP9 butt plate stock, and I like the Corio Eagle's Eye 2.5 times scope, but whatever sight makes you comfortable here, you can use it however you want. Show you guys how this performs in the firing range. Still really solid. Takes about 3 to 4 bursts in order to knock down a dummy, so if you like a burst weapon, it's a solid option. Next, for this AMR9, you want to use the Spiral Flash Hider muzzle, the AMR9 Commando Pro barrel, 50 round mag, the DAV 15 light tactical stock, and I like the MK3 reflector sight here. Gives it more of a Black Ops feel for me, but use whatever sight makes you comfortable. And this is how it performs in the firing range. Really low recoil, and seems to the TTK seems pretty quick. All right, so for this next set of loadouts, we got the WSP9 and the MCW. Now, the WSP9, I've got 2 different loadouts for you. If you've been here before, you know exactly which other loadout I'm going to show you besides the one that I'm going to give you right now. But if not, you're going to enjoy this. So we're going to go with the WSP9. This is going to be your normal, like, close range build. We're going to go with the WSP Infiltrator integrated barrel. That's going to have a suppressor on there for you too, so you won't even have to worry about adding. That's going to give you like 2 attachments at once. Then we're going to go with the skeletal vertical grip here, the high grain rounds, the 40 round mag, and the Marauder grip. And we'll show you this, guys, in the firing range and how it performs. Very fast TTK and pretty solid recoil, easy to control. Just kind of a slower fire rate than like something like the WSP Swarm. Pretty solid though, a lot of fun to run. And then for this other loadout for the WSP9, I made pretty much another Milano style build like we had in Warzone 1. So it's a long range build, probably used more for mid-range gunfights, mid to close, very solid, a lot of fun to run. This is strictly for fun, not necessarily meta, because when the Milano came out, it was meta. Like, you used that thing, it was awesome. This thing is a lot of fun to run if you want something to switch it up, kind of give your enemies some fun kill feeds. I think you're going to enjoy this one, and I'll show you how this performs before I give you the loadout here. Like I said, really solid, and at longer ranges kills pretty quick. Recoil's not terrible. Like I said, it's fun. So we're gonna go with the WSP Optac long barrel, then we're gonna go with the Bruin heavy support grip underbarrel, the 50 round mag, the WSP Classics factory stock, and I like the Corio Eagle's Eye 2.5 times scope, but use whatever sight makes you comfortable. Then for that MCW, we're going to go with the VT7 Spiritfire suppressor, the second line Mammoth heavy barrel, the Bruin heavy support grip underbarrel, the 60 round drum, and of course I like the Corio Eagle's Eye 2.5 times scope. That's just my that's my go-to. So we'll show this to you in the firing range here. Very minimum recoil with the MCW. It's kind of a slower TTK, but the minimum recoil kind of makes up for that. So this is a very easy weapon to use, so very solid beginner build. If you got some friends that are kind of beginners just starting out and they're kind of wanting to know what to run, this MCW is pretty solid when it comes to ease of use. For this next set, I've got the Holger 556 and the Striker. Now, the Striker, I'm going to have a couple of builds for you extra again. And then the Holger 556, very solid, very easy to use weapon as well. For this Holger 556, we're going to go with the Spiritfire suppressor, the Cryo 6 match barrel, the Bruin heavy support grip underbarrel, the Corio Eagle's Eye 2.5 times scope, and the 40 round mag. So I think they should bump this up to about a 45 round mag, maybe a 50. But like I said, very fun to run. Very easy to use. Recoil kind of loses it at range a little bit as far as the recoil goes, but very solid at the what I like to call the resurgence distance, which is about right there on the second dummy. Very easy to use. And then for this striker, I love the striker right now. Very easy to use as well. These are all really easy to use. The SMGs feels like they don't hit hard enough right now. I hope they keep kind of stepping that up a little bit. So we'll have more of an SMG meta, but we'll see. But we've got this first striker build here for you. We're gonna go with the Himra's Mod Suppressor S. This is going to be more of your mid-range, maybe sniper support a little bit. Probably not as long enough range here, but the R6 hand stop. This is a close range build, close to mid-range build, very little recoil. 48 round mag here, the slate reflector sight, and the Lockman MK2 light stock. We'll show this to you in the firing range, and we'll have another striker build for you here as well. Very easy to use, very low recoil. Again, you can use this close range. Mid-range is not bad. Mid-range is not bad at all, as you can see. But to each their own there. Very solid TTK. So we have another striker here build here for you, and this is the Hipfire build. This one's a lot of fun to run, and it's honestly really good. You can use it like this, or you just don't even have to aim it, and you can just use it like that. So very easy to use weapon. I love the striker. Pretty solid beginner SMG, if I'm being honest. So all right, so for this next one, this is a video I'm probably going to be doing a single loadout video on as well, probably a short or something like that. But the Ram 7 is very interesting right now with this particular muzzle. This particular muzzle gives it a little, like very little visual recoil, not no recoil, just visual, no visual recoil. And I'll show you what I mean here in a second. Then I paired this with a 9mm, the ISO 9mm. They're a lot of fun to run. So go with the Cassis Brake muzzle. This is the muzzle that I was talking about. The Cronin Headwind long barrels, pretty solid here. The Bruin Heavy Support Grip under barrel, the 60 round drum, and the HVS 3.4 pad, which gives it even more, really focuses on that recoil gun kick, which is the Ram 7's kind of downfall, in my opinion, for like ease of use for a weapon. So that recoil gun kick really helps. So here's what I mean by little visual recoil. There's just not a lot of shake, if that makes sense. So you can't get a lot of shake like this. So it's very visually satisfying too. I mean, you're just destroying the shreds. The TTK on this is absolutely insane. Loving the Ram 7 right now. Use it, have some fun with it. Let me know what you think. So for this ISO 9mm or the ISO 9mm, we're going to go with the Bruin Cubic Comp muzzle, the high grain rounds, the 50 round drum, the MK3 reflector sight or the slate reflector, whatever you like there, and the demo fade tac stock here. And I'll show you this in the firing range. A lot of fun to run. This one's not more of a beginner build. It's got some visual recoil there. This is the visual recoil that the Ram 7 does not have. See that shake? Kind of stutters. That comes with pretty much every Modern Warfare 2 weapon right now. But again, this thing is very easy to control when it comes to that, and very solid TTK when it comes to the SMGs for sure. Then for our last loadout set, we've got the SVA 545, which is completely broken right now in the single fire mode. And then we have the WSP Swarm, which I've got 3 different loadouts for you there. I mean, a lot of fun. These loadouts are for every play style you can imagine. And then this SVA 545, we're going to show you a couple little tricks to this loadout as well. So let's get into it. Let's go to the SVA 545 first. We're going to go with the Spiritfire Suppressor, the STV Precision Barrel, the high grain rounds, the 60 round mag, and the Corio Eagle's Eye 2.5 times scope. Now, when I did a video on this week, strictly just this weapon, I got a lot of comments saying use it in full auto and just burst fire it, so just squeezing your trigger once. And that's what we're going to try out for you today. But honestly, but trying it before I started making this video, I really just preferred the single fire mode when it came to this. I'll show you the differences between the bursts. So if you just hold down, the recoil goes up and to the left. Pretty wild recoil, to be honest. And you got the first like 3 or 4 bullets that fire super quick, and that's just kind of how this particular weapon has been, because this is pretty much the AN94 from Warzone 1 or Modern Warfare 2019. And so this thing fires out like 3 to 5 bullets quicker than any of the other ones, kind of like the TAC Eradicator LMG. Then we're going to burst fire it. So when the burst fire, when you just squeeze the trigger without putting it on single fire, it's going to give you a 3 bullet shot. And that's going to be right there. So that's going to give you 3 bullets. Went from 60 to 57. That's 3 bullets. But let's spam it and see if there's any kind of recoil here. Yeah, pretty much not any recoil, just like there is in single fire. And I'll show you single fire right here. So switch this to single fire, and this is going to give you a 2 bullet shot, right? So go from 60 to 58. Thing with the single fire automatically, for some miraculous reason, gives you more damage to your bullet. And so with that being said, if you have it on full auto and you're burst firing, it's not going to give as much damage per bullet if you don't put it on single fire. So single fire 2 Also, zero recoil. This is the only really zero recoil build we have. Not zero visual recoil, zero recoil. That means like, look at this. Like that's full auto. This is full auto burst firing. This is single fire and it's like a 2-round burst. This gives you a ton more damage than this does. So I recommend switching it to single fire and bursting it that way. That's my opinion, but I'll show you all aspects of this weapon in the firing range here. So that's full auto, kind of hard to control, especially at range. Just I kind of got lucky there, just hit a couple shots. Okay, so this is the just burst firing, right? So here, not bad. I mean, like I said, it's not bad, but I think the single fire is just better in my opinion. So here just seems like, and there's less visual recoil to it too, feels like. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. You end up with 28 bullets instead of you're dishing out 3. It seems to me the single fire is your best option here. All right, so then we go to the WSP Swarm. I love the WSP Swarm. This is going to be my go-to like sweaty build, if you will. Just all around good versatile build here. We're gonna go to the WSP Reckless 90 long barrel, the DR6 hand stop underbarrel, 50 round mag, and the slate reflector sight, along with the FSS Fortress heavy stock. We'll show you this particular build in the firing range. A lot of fun to run, a little bit harder to control when it comes to the recoil at like mid-range here. I'm not a fan of this at mid-range. And that's not what I use it for. This is my go-to close range, fast TTK build right there. All right. So then we're going to go with the, if you like a Kimbo style builds, this is going to be for you. We're going to go with the Wrath Guard Compensator S muzzle, the WSP zip barrel. I put 100 round drums on this. You do not have to put a 100 round drum on this. Completely up to you, but it's a lot of fun to run. I'm not gonna lie. The Point G3P04 laser. And of course, we're going to add the Akimbo brace stock here. Again, you can max out this weapon in order to unlock this and then add it to your armory unlock challenges. That's kind of how you get this brace stock, but I'll show you this guy is in the firing range. This is basically, you're rocking 2 Hipfire Mac 10s here, basically. Lot of fun to run, man. At range, not as great, but still does pretty good. So, but that's not where you're going to use that. You're going to use that thing up close. So, and then this is, I've got just a hipfire build for it, just one single hipfire build. When I go, I don't really run akimbo weapons, so I like to run the hipfire if I do something like that. So go with the S37C DL breacher device S, the Bruin tactical vertical grip here, the Schlager Ulo 66 laser, the 100 round drum, and the nose stock. And I had a lot of fun with this when I was running. Gosh, just it shreds, man. It's just so good. And then you have, you know, range, not so much. I mean, you probably could get lucky if somebody's not plated, or maybe, but that was with a 100 round mag. So, but up close, which is where you're going to be using it, and this is probably even farther than you're going to typically be using it. So very fun to run. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that noti bell. If you like videos like these, man, do that so you don't miss another one of these style of videos or one of these. We'll see you in the next one.